Help.
This might be the longest I played this game in a row.
Help me. Oh my.
Let's go. 91 on that. Yes, sir.
What's the matter?
From Charlotte, North Carolina, number 2. Michigan, number 22, Aiden Sherrell. And the 6 Sports Award from Mobile, number 0,
He's from Mobile, ain't he? He's from Mobile, ain't he?
Yeah. Oh my God! Welcome home, buddy. Oh my gosh, he's back.
James already got the fucking cookies, bro.
Why you cussing on my Instagram?
Oh shit. Oh.
Yeah. Oh
Damn,
my God.
I didn't-
Oh my God. Why y'all love cussing? What's good, Joaquin? How you doing? Welcome back. We missed you, bro.
I'm glad to be back.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You lost weight, bro. I
Okay, cups or just bring you more?
if you want, you can get the cups if you want.
Either way.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy JG Tennis back with another video today. So I know you've seen some just random clips and stuff, but I gotta get back to filming more videos. And you know, there's a big video I plan to post coming at the end of the year. That's 2025 in review. So I'm very excited for that. And you know, I'm gonna record. I can't wait to record that video. It's been a fun year. And you know, I have watched the college football playoffs, and you know, we seen Notre Dame complain about the teams that got in above them, and that was like Alabama and Miami. Now, you know, Alabama lost 3 games this year, and Miami lost 2. Notre Dame also lost 2. Now, it talks about having the 12 best teams, the 12-team playoff. They need to change that. They need to change it. Like, if it, like, either extend it to 16 or just put the 12 best teams. It doesn't matter how many conference champions are in there. Put the 12 best teams in there. Because, now, make it clear. Tulane got whooped by Ole Miss. And James Madison, you know, Oregon put in their scrubs. But Oregon was already up 34-3. And Notre Dame is a much better team than Tulane and James Madison. I think that James Madison and Tulane getting in there was a joke. Because you just gave it easy. Now, looking at the score from Oregon and James Madison, you're like, well, they lost by 17. Well, they had the scrubs. Or, like, Notre Dame and BYU would have been better in their playoffs than JMU and Tulane. Then you got Notre Dame. Remember Notre Dame was complaining about getting scrubbed from the playoffs. You know, they lost 2 games. One of their losses was to Miami, who has the same record as them. Miami beat them. Even though Notre Dame had a better strength of schedule, the head-to-head sometimes matters. Notre Dame lost to Miami. And, you know, I think that the committee was, like, what's so crazy was that the committee actually kind of gotten 10 out of 12 of them right. Because, you know, Alabama, you know, they were down 17-0. Then they came back and went on a 34-7 run. Won the game. Alabama's definitely one of the top best 12 teams now. They can't say nothing now. Bama won by double digits against a team that they lost to by 2. Now you say for Georgia beat a team by 3 touchdowns to a team they beat the team they lost to by 3 by double digits. By 21. But Bama went into Norman, Oklahoma and won on the road. And played some of the best football that I haven't. I mean, Ty Simpson, even though he got sacked so much in that game, that was like the best freaking game I've seen him play since Tennessee. Or yeah, Tennessee. And Miami then beat Texas A&M 10-3. I mean, it was a scrub fest. Like there was nobody. It was a scrub fest. And Texas A&M was one of my favorite teams this year. Like they were like 5 and no, they're not 5. Well, they did go 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, and they went 11-0. Then they lost to Texas at Texas. And they could have played in the SEC championship if they didn't lose to Texas. And maybe, just maybe, I think Alabama could have won against Texas A&M, depending on what Alabama team showed up. If the Alabama team that showed up against Oklahoma showed up in the SEC championship, it would have been a lot different. Now, I thought Marcel would have probably won the Heisman, but then at the end of the year, not surprised. Like looking at the Heisman Trophy race, I was like surprised that Marcel Reed didn't even make top 10. I'm like, dude was like the best player. Well, one of the best players at least in college football for the first 11 games. But looks like it got to him. Ty Simpson was one of the Heisman finalists until that Georgia game. I mean, until he started struggling. Dude was literally like clutch. And then, just stuff started happening. And, like, Alabama didn't win. Miami won 10-3. Oregon won. And Ole Miss won. So I'm excited for the second college football. Well, not second round, the quarterfinals. I'm excited for that. But yeah, Notre Dame, they need to join a conference. They need to join a conference. They did it in 2020 where they joined the ACC. And they won, that's all they got to do. Join the ACC. Their basketball team, I think every other sport that they have is in the ACC already. Just join the ACC. You could be Notre Dame, if you join the ACC, you're most likely going to make the ACC championship game. Because you've been good the last few years. You went the national championship last year. You went, you went 9-4 the year before. What was that, 23? No, 23. Probably 22. Wait, what was Notre Dame's record in 2023?
2023, they lost to Michigan.
They were 10-3 during 2023. Yeah, and then 2022. Wait, what? Lost to Michigan? No, that was Washington. You talking about national championship?
Mm-hmm.
No, 2023 Michigan beat Washington in the championship. Then Ohio State beat Notre Dame the next year.
Okay.
22 was I think Notre Dame was 10 and that was when they were 9-4. That was when they were 9-4. Yeah, let's see. Go here. 22. So they lost to Ohio State week 1, 0-1. Lost to Marshall, 0-2. Won 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 7-4, 8-4. Wait. 9-4 actually. I must have missed something. What I miss? 0-1, 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3. Hold on, so who's the other game that they played? Who was week 5?
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Which team?
Notre Dame. They forgot to put week 5 up there. Let me go back to this. Okay. 0-2, 2-2, wait, 1-2, 2-2. There we go, Syracuse. There we go, 9-4. They went 9-4 in 2022. But 2021 and 2020. 2021, they, like, everything was getting back to normal, so they were independent again. They went 11-1 in the regular season. Their only loss was to Cincinnati. Now, say for instance, if they were in the ACC, they could have made the play. They could have, well, actually, since they lost Cincinnati, not really make the ACC not make the playoffs. Maybe like number 5 because they have that loss to Cincinnati. Even and now, probably if they were not in the ACC. I mean, if they were in the ACC, they probably wouldn't play Cincinnati. But Notre Dame needs to join the conference. And look at what happened in 2020 when they did join the conference. They started the year off undefeated, then lost the ACC championship. And they moved from number 2 to number 4. So if you join a conference and you make the ACC championship game undefeated, and either way, if you lose in the ACC championship, you'll still get in the playoffs. Now take a look at this year. They started off 0-2, then won 10 straight games. If y'all were in the ACC right now, think about this. As much as I'm a Virginia fan, I love Virginia. Virginia and Duke, those weren't the 2 best teams in the ACC. That's me being honest. As much as I loved Virginia, hoping they win. I wish they would have won the game. But either way, Virginia and Duke, they were not the best teams in the ACC. I think, if I'm being honest, Miami's probably the best team in the ACC overall. Even when they had those 2 losses, Miami was still the better team in the ACC. But if Notre Dame, you join, because ACC probably has 17 teams right now. You could be the best team, probably the second best team, at least. And you could, I kind of wish that they had the divisions back. The 2 from each side back again. Because some of the stuff doesn't make any sense, especially when you have so many ties. A lot of ACC teams were 6-2. Now, Ohio State. Ohio State's always gonna be in the playoffs no matter what, unless they have this one bad season. But Virginia, They had 2 losses going into the ACC championship. Now, they lost to NC State and they lost to Wake Forest. Now, the loss to NC State didn't count as a conference game because of how many ACC teams there are. You're supposed to play like eight conference games. Supposed to play 8 conference games. But because the ACC has so many teams, some of them have to do like extra ACC games, but won't count towards the conference. Virginia plays Missouri in about 6 days, so I'll be watching that. It's gonna be good. But I hope that Alabama wins it. I think they're gonna if they beat Indiana, I'll be shocked. But they just gotta play good. And again, Notre Dame, join the ACC, do what y'all did in 2020, and you have nothing to worry about because you're guaranteed. Because you could beat if you lost to Miami by 3 at the beginning of the year, lost to A&M by 1 on a game winner, and if you join the ACC, you're the best team in. Because Clemson hasn't been. Well, they won the ACC last year, and I would say Clemson got lucky last year. Even though they won the ACC, they weren't really even supposed to be there. But because the ACC lost so many games, some teams that were on the hook to be in the ACC championship lost. That put Clemson in, and Clemson took the opportunity and won the ACC against SMU. But yeah, join the conference. Join it. Because in this playoff, you're going to need to have a lot of resume building. And I understand you have ranked wins against Pitt and USC. But I kind of say that some of these teams that are in the ACC, I can understand Oklahoma and Texas being in the SEC. I can understand that. I would like them to be back in the Big 12 to make it, because I like the Big 12. I like them being the dominant front runners in the Big 12. But Stanford, Cal, being in the ACC is supposed to be the Atlantic Coast Division. But you have teams from the Pacific coming into the Atlantic. Now, and the Pac-12, Pac-12 had its history. Pac-12, didn't get started. Their games started very late, and not a lot of people gave them attention. And then until 2022, Washington, they didn't really have teams that that made the playoffs. First year they had Mariota make the playoffs, won the Heisman, made the playoffs, lost the national championship. Then 2015, Stanford had chances to be in it, but lost to 2 teams. And then won the Pac-12, but didn't have enough resume to make the playoffs. Washington in 2016 made the playoffs, number 4. And the next 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, next 5 years, the Pac-12 didn't have a team make the playoffs. 2017, USC and Stanford went in there with both had 2 losses. So USC won, moved up to number 8. Um, 2018, the Washington State Cougars were 10-1, number 8 in the nation, but then lost at home to Washington, which ruined their playoff chances because they could have most likely won the Pac-12, but then Washington won the Pac-12 against Utah. Both Washington and Utah were 9-3. Then 2019, oh my, that was one of the craziest times ever, craziest years. LSU's offense was going crazy. Ohio State, they were back to their best. Justin Fields. Oklahoma had Jalen Hurts. Clemson, defending champs. While they were still undefeated, they didn't have that. The ACC was not big because the team to go against Clemson in the ACC championship was Virginia, a 9-3 Virginia team. Let me look up ACC standings. Let me see. So yeah, Clemson, was already the best team in there. Nobody was North Carolina was close to beating them, but Clemson, they were the clear favorites to win the ACC anyway, no matter who they played. And the Pac-12 had Oregon and Utah. Both teams were top 10 teams at a point. And Oregon, thing is, it's sometimes how the Pac-12 schedules their games, especially against SEC teams or other big teams. Oregon lost to Auburn at the beginning of the year that year. So they had 1 loss, and they had some close wins. Then the week before their rivalry game against Oregon State, they lost to Jaden Daniels in Arizona State. This was before Jaden Daniels went to LSU. He was a freshman. He had one of the games of his life, and then he would become a Heisman years later. But so Oregon lost. Utah had 1 loss already, and that was to USC. They lost at UST. So when they went into the Pac-12 championship, Utah was number 5. They were on the doorstep to go into the playoff. All they had to do was win. But then you had them playing against a 10-2 Oregon, the original best team in the Pac-12, and Oregon whooped them 37-15. So that put Oregon to the Rose Bowl. So the Pac-12, then in 2020, the Pac-12, season was shortened. USC, it said they're 5-0, but I think they would have actually ended the year either 11-1 or 10. I would say 11-1. We'll give them that. Oregon's 10-2. USC loses to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. And again, and USC, they weren't even if they would have won, they weren't making the playoffs because they were number 13. No, USC would have been 10-2. Oh, they would have been 10-2. And lost to Oregon. Wait, what did USC a red 20 football schedule? Yeah, so I think they would have been either 11-1 or 10-2. Probably 10-2. But oh man. But because of the COVID, they only played 5 games. No. And then you got 2021. Oregon lost 2 games. When they beat Ohio State in week 2, and then they kind of fell off a little bit. Lost 2 games. Lost to Stanford and Utah. Utah had 3 losses going into the conference championship, and Utah beat Oregon again. Then 2022, finally, Washington won close games. They finally got in. And Pac-12 championship finally lived up to the hype where it had Washington and Oregon. After a game of the year, one of the games of the year during that time, another game of the year happened. And Washington beat them. But no matter what, no matter who won, somebody was going to the playoffs. But yeah, that's what I would say for football. But I plan to make one more video before the year ends. And first semester is pretty good. JG Tennis in all A's. I know y'all saw in the clips. Passed all my exams. My mom said I had a 4.0 GPA. One of my teammates told me that my GPA is not a thing yet. I think probably until next year or 11th grade year. Or actually, why did I say 11th grade? Junior year. But Nolly's supposed to play. Yeah, Oregon would beat Washington. What in the world? Why am I on Amazon? But yeah, well, it's been your boy JG Tennis, and I'll see y'all in the next one.